Hi everyone and welcome to this drawing video. In this video I want to show you how to work on a colour drawing of a rose. In terms of the supplies I'm using, I decided to use toned tan paper from a Rowney Earthbound sketchbook. I used an HB mechanical pencil for the sketching, along with Copic markers and Prismacolor pencils for the colouring. And then towards the end of the drawing I used a Uni-Ball white ink pen for the highlights. But please don't worry if you don't have these exact supplies. You can use any type of paper, along with any coloured pencils or markers, and you'll be able to create something similar to this. As you can see, I started off by working on the initial sketch, starting from the middle of the rose first, and then working my way outwards, and just layering each petal. It really helps to have some reference photos in front of you. I like to do this, and it can really help with inspiration and just getting the idea of the shape of the rose. But don't worry too much about getting the exact shapes and details. That's the great thing about working on any nature drawings like this. All roses will have little differences, like folds in the petals and damage and that kind of thing. I really took my time at this stage, just getting the initial shape at first, and then developing and sharpening the details of each petal. Then I also added a few details to the stem underneath. For the colouring stage, I used 3 different Copic markers for the rose: crimson, cardinal, and rose red. For each petal, I started by adding the crimson first, and then I faded it upwards towards rose red at the top, and I just blended these 2 colours together. Then, to add the shading between the petals and underneath the folds at the top of each one, I used the cardinal marker. Once I completed the colouring of each petal, I also used a white Prismacolor pencil to add a highlight along the top. And I really enjoy doing this because I feel like these highlights add a nice contrast to make these features stand out, especially on top of this toned tan paper. The white pencil was also great for adding a bit of texture, just adding some lines that ran along each petal, and this actually also helps to develop the shape. Next up, with all the petals coloured in, it was time to add the green colouring to the stem, and I used two markers for this, pea green and a darker green called verdigris. Then I also made sure to add a few highlights along some of the edges with the white Prismacolor pencil. Then I also decided to use a black Prismacolor pencil to add some shading to the area. And actually, it was at this point that I decided to use this black pencil to add some darker shading around the rest of the drawing. This way, it helped me to add more depth and develop the shapes within the rose. At this point, the drawing was pretty much completed, but I felt like adding a couple of water drops, and to create them I sketched the outlines first, then I used Cool Grey 3 and 5 Copic markers to add some shading, just blending the gradients between these two markers. Then to add the light hitting them, I used the white Prismacolor pencil and a Uni-Ball white ink pen. For the final touches, I continued using this white ink pen to add a few highlights along the tops of some of the petals and on the stem, and after that this drawing was completed. It took about 1 hour and 45 minutes, and I really enjoyed working on this. It was very relaxing, and I hope this video has helped out in some way. Please let me know what you think, and also let me know if you have any suggestions for future videos. If you want to see more stuff like this, then feel free to subscribe, and any likes or shares on this video, they really mean a lot to me. If you want to follow my progress and see photos before I post these videos, then check out the links in the description box below to check out my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. And once again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you all soon.